Hey everyone, welcome back. Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. So checks are going out today for certain beneficiaries of Social Security of right around $1,900 on average and all the way up to $4,800. Plus, RFK Jr. announced his pick for being his vice president, and Democrats are ramping up their attacks on him, so we'll be covering all that and more. But before I go ahead and dive into the main content of today's video, if you wouldn't mind helping me out real quickly by just giving this video a like, that just helps out with the good old YouTube algorithm, and also consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already. Plus, if you would like to receive up to $10,000 in free stocks or $10,000 in free cash, in a pinned comment below, I will be leaving a link to Moomoo. All you have to do is once you click on that link is just sign up for a free account and then deposit at least $100. At that point, Moomoo will be sending you at least 5 free stocks worth all the way up to $10,000. And if you'd rather just receive the cash, all you have to do is once you receive the free stocks is just sell them for what they're worth and then transfer the cash value right back to your bank account. Okay, so diving right into our lead story of today's video, and that is the fact that independent candidate RFK Jr. just selected his vice president, and as expected, he ended up going with Nicole Shanahan. So according to The Hill, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has chosen tech attorney and entrepreneur Nicole Shanahan to join his independent presidential campaign as his running mate. Kennedy made the announcement at an event in Oakland, California on Tuesday, where he outlined how their 2024 ticket will differ from those of President Biden and former President Trump. A founder and president of BioEcho Foundation, the California-based entrepreneur brings a proven funding stream to the Kennedy campaign. The former spouse of Google co-founder Sergey Brin, Shanahan financed most of Kennedy's February Super Bowl ad that captured millions of viewers. She also founded an analytics company, Clear Access IP, after law school. Kennedy said he wanted a running mate who shared his indignation for how big tech companies partner in the censorship and surveillance and the information warfare that our government is currently waging against the American people, adding that technology has been one of Shanahan's lifelong passions. He said, quote, "That's why I'm bringing on someone with a deep inside knowledge of how big tech uses artificial intelligence to manipulate the public." So let me know in the comment section below what you think of RFK Jr.'s VP pick. Do you think that's going to help him? Do you think it's going to hurt him? Or do you think it's not really going to do anything either way? Now, meanwhile, Democrats are now ramping up the attacks on RFK Jr. Perhaps before they did not think that he was all that serious, that he was actually going to run against both Biden and Trump. And, why exactly are they mad that he's running? Well, it's because, certainly it definitely hurts Biden in the polls, and we can show definitive proof of that. So first off, we're going to look at a poll of Trump versus Biden. So on average, Trump is leading by 1.6 points, with the most recent poll by Morning Consult from March 22nd through March 24th, with Biden actually leading by 1 point, in a recent poll by CNBC with Trump leading by 1 point. So right now it's a toss-up. It could really go in either direction. However, if we look at a poll where we throw RFK Jr. into the mix, where we actually have Trump versus Biden versus Kennedy, with this, it's going to help Trump a lot more, because on average with this, Trump leads by 5.4 points. And the most recent poll there back on March 20th through March 21st, Trump actually leads that poll by 4 points. So when you throw Kennedy into the mix, it definitely hurts Biden by right around 3 points, possibly even more than that. Now, in some other news, of course, today we have Social Security checks dropping of $1,900 on average, and all the way up to $4,800 plus if you are eligible to receive the maximum. So according to The Sun, COLA recipients with birth dates after the 21st of the month collect their checks today on Wednesday, March 27th. So beneficiaries born between the 11th and 20th of the month received their payment last week on March 20th. Those with a birthday between the 1st and 10th of the month already got their money on March 13th. And the maximum COLA amount for this year is $4,873, with the average amount paid being $1,907. Now, 2024 payments are $58 higher on average than the benefits sent out in 2023. And for April, depending on a recipient's birthday, they will receive a payment on April 10th, 17th, and 24th. And if you're an SSI recipient, you will be receiving your payment on the 1st of April. Now, in some other news, as far as Social Security goes, we recently had BlackRock's Larry Fink come out and says that Social Security is a crisis and that the age of 65 for a retirement age is a bit crazy. So in his annual letter to shareholders, Fink called the decreasing ability to retire in a financially sound way one of the biggest economic challenges of the mid-21st century. He said, quote, "Today in America, the retirement message that the government and companies tell their workers is effectively, quote, you're on your own. And before my generation fully disappears from positions of corporate and political leadership, we have an obligation to change that." So let me know your thoughts in comments below. Should we be changing the way that the retirement system works? A lot of people are retiring at the age of 66, 67, but they're finding that their Social Security checks, pensions, and everything else is just not enough to keep up with inflation, the rising costs across everything. Let me know your thoughts in comments below how we should be changing the retirement system in the United States of America. Now, in our final news piece of today's video, of course, the former RNC chairwoman and Ronna McDaniel was hired by NBC News to be one of their contributors. And well, she didn't last all that long. She lasted a mere 2 days before she was fired. And this is because her co-workers weren't, I guess, particularly fond with NBC News hiring someone, I guess, on the right, and someone who made some comments about Trump and the election and things they didn't particularly agree with. So according to The Hill, NBC News parts with Ronna McDaniel following internal backlash. So Ronna McDaniel, the former chair of the Republican National Committee, was ousted by NBC News as a paid contributor after vocal protests from the network staff over her hiring. NBCU News Group Chair Cesar Conde announced the decision to part with Daniels, who just made her inaugural network appearance on Sunday, to staff in a Tuesday memo obtained by The Hill. They said, quote, "No organization, particularly a newsroom, can succeed unless it is cohesive and aligned. Over the last few days, it has become clear that this appointment undermines that goal." Both McDaniel and the network had come under criticism from some of the network's biggest stars over her comments and role in former President Trump's efforts to overturn the result of the 2020 election. And of course, because of this, Trump also mocked McDaniel after ouster from NBC, according to The Hill as well. So former President Trump made fun of Ronna McDaniel after NBC News ended its contract with her following an internal uproar across the company just days after it announced she was joining the outlet as a contributor. In a Truth Social post, he said, "Wow, Ronna McDaniel got fired by fake news NBC. She only lasted 2 days, and this after McDaniel went out of her way to say what they wanted to hear. It leaves her in a very strange place. It's called Never Neverland, and it's not a place that you want to be." So Trump is basically saying there that now the left does not want McDaniel, and now that McDaniel has come out and I guess said some things, I guess, against Trump in a way, not completely, but in a way, he's saying that now, of course, the MAGA side won't want her either. So she's sort of in a space where the left doesn't want her, and perhaps part of the right does not want her either. So looking for employment, I guess he doesn't believe that she's going to be very favorable to hiring. And I think this is actually particularly concerning, because I think we need to have news outlets that showcase both sides of things. We cannot have news outlets just be a complete echo chamber where you turn into Fox News and you hear everything favorable to Trump and everything negative against Biden. And we cannot be tuning into like ABC, NBC, CNN and have everything pro-Biden, anti-Trump. We need to have news stations that actually show both sides of things, actually have this open end of conversation. And if we're going to fire people who are going to be against things that everyone in that news station agrees with, that Trump is this terrible person, then what's the point of the news? Do people want to turn into a news station and just hear everything that they want to agree with? I think we need to have news where we might have one anchor saying that Trump is this evil person, but then we have someone counter and say, well, why is he evil? He's done all these great things for the country. And then in the same way that we should turn into Fox News and be able to hear perhaps some positive things about Biden rather than just all the negative things. We need to have this open-ended conversation. We cannot have networks just be completely partisan in this just big echo chamber where we don't have any form of disagreement. But let me know your thoughts and comments below about all this. But that's all we have for today's video. I certainly hope that you enjoyed and found value out of it. If you did, again, I would greatly appreciate it if you could give this video a like. Consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already, and I will see you in the next video.